Commission meeting to order on this Tuesday, November 22nd, 2022. It is 4:30. The meeting will begin now. Can you please stand for a pledge of allegiance? A moment of silence after.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, thank you, Commissioner. Cynthia, can we get a roll call on tonight's commissioners?
Talmadge?
Are you guys muted in there? We can't hear you.
Can you hear us now?
No, it's muted.
Oh, maybe it's on here.
On that.
It was unmuted before the meeting started.
Did you unmute it?
We're checking laptop here.
Thank you.
How about now, John?
Sounds great.
Terrific. Always great to know you're there for us.
Present.
Okay, hang on then. Let's, thank you, John. Cynthia, start over with the roll call then again.
Talmadge? Here. Soto Presley?
Here.
Garay?
Here.
Myricks?
Here.
Hopridge?
Here, all five are present, 3 here in chambers and 2 by Zoom. Okay, number 3 is declaration of conflict of interest. Okay, number 4, communications.
None were received.
Okay, number 5 is acceptance of request for qualification for financial consultants. I'm just reading it. There's no action needed tonight. It's going to be on the next agenda, just for the record. All right, number 6 is acceptance of offers of purchase and proposals for redevelopment for the sale of property commonly known as 6219 Holman Avenue.
None were received.
Okay. No action there then, thank you. Number 7 is approval of management agreements between the City of Hammond by and through its Redevelopment Commission and the Hammond Development Corporation for addresses 5233 Holman Avenue, 5246 Holman Avenue, and 5209 Holman Avenue.
So Council, this is an annual agenda item that we approve every year regarding the Hammond Development Corp's management of our City of Hammond and AHDC and redevelopment downtown Hammond businesses that we own. 5233 Holman is the hub of innovation. 5246 is the what we call the Indiana building, and 5209 Holman is the HIC building, which is the Innovation Center, the business center. So we just look for an annual approval for HDC to continue managing these buildings.
So moved.
Second, sorry.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Talmadge. If there's no further questions for Ms. Anderson, roll call.
Talmadge?
Yes.
Soto Presley?
Yes.
Garay?
Yes.
Myricks?
Yes.
Hopridge?
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, number 8 is approval of Myers Snow Plowing Incorporated snow contract for 5800 Holman Avenue.
So it's that time of year to start approving some snow plowing contracts the city has on an annual basis. This one is with Meyer Snow Plowing, and it's for 5800 Holman Avenue. That's a redevelopment parcel and building owned that has a tenant of the sub-hub and the Hammond Police Department, their fleet division. So we would just seek approval of this contract.
Mr. President, I'm making a motion for the approval of Meyer Snow Plowing, Inc. snow contract for 5800 Homan Avenue.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tomich, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Total Presley,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes with 5 yes. Okay, number 9 is request for authorization to rezone HRC property at 2512 New York Avenue.
Members of the Redevelopment Commission, 2512 New York is located, obviously, in the 2500 block on New York Avenue. It is just south of the dormitory project for Calumet College. It originally was part of the property that was Zone C4 for a hospital project about 18 years ago. This is an opportunity. There is an opportunity for Cal College to, you're working out there's a lease agreement for them to use this property. So the intent is to change the zoning from C4 to S2 institutional. That would match the zoning of the college. And we're just seeking authorization as owners of the property for us to proceed with that rezoning through the Planning Commission and the City Council.
So they're just leasing the land, or they're leasing?
I'm not totally familiar with the details of the lease, but it is leasing the land for that, for them to use it for recreational purposes.
They want to lease, excuse me, they want to lease the land. We can't enter into that, right, and we want this kind of sliver between what is our residential and the dormitory. So you've got this S2 zoning, which is the dormitory, and then you've got the residential zoning to the south. This parcel's this leftover piece, I guess would be the best way to put it, that is still this commercial zoning. And regardless of whether Cal College would lease it and use it as green space / recreational, or whether we do something else with the green space, we need to rezone it and get it to this S2 for consistency purposes down the street.
Okay, I got you, I understand. Okay. Mr. President, if there's no further questions or discussion, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the determination of compliance with the plan. No, I'm on the wrong one.
9.
I'm on
You can do that one next.
All right, let me start over again. So if there are no questions or discussion, I'd like to make a motion for the request for authorization to rezone HRC property at 2512 New York Avenue.
I'll second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Myricks, seconded by Commissioner Tomich. That's the request for authorization to rezone HRC property at 2512 New York Avenue. Is that a roll call, please?
If I may ask, are you granting authorization?
That's the
Want me to
motion.
restate it saying we granting authorization?
I understood. He said he makes a motion. I took it as an approval. Isn't that what it was meant as?
That's what it was meant as, but if you want me to restate it, I will restate it however verbiage you deem.
As long as
necessary.
I think the record's pretty clear that it's to approve the request.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, then, that motion and second is still on the floor. Thank you for the clarification anyway. All right, then, roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Total Presley,
Yes.
Ray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopperidge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Okay, go with that one, Ant. Okay, number 10's determination of compliance with the plan for downtown Hammond Urban Renewal District Number 1 for 24 Marble Street for a new construction industrial building.
We have the developer of 24 Marble, Mike Kelly, here. Mike, did you want to say a few words?
We're just seeking the approval as soon as we can.
Great. Does anyone have any questions, or Brian, do you need to talk about anything? Brian, please.
Yeah, I remember you, Mr. Kelly, so thank you. It's like a pretty big project. Welcome back, Mr. Poland.
Yes. So this is a request, or this is a question regarding the determination of compliance for the 24 Marble Street project. I'm sure you probably are aware of this through the development agreement discussion. That'd be fair to say. So just for record purposes, approximately 400,000 square feet of a building on a 23.92 acre lot, with expected investment of $25 million and 40 permanent jobs. The project did go through the Plan Commission last night for the subdivision plat. And then we're still then going to be at permit stage to resolve all those issues. Just for the documentation purposes, there still were some questions about confirmation from Army Corps, IDEM, and DNR about some of the environmental questions when it comes to the stormwater into the Grand Calumet River. The developmental provisions are basically in compliant with the zoning, the I-1 zoning. Staff recommends that the Redevelopment Commission make a determination that the proposed use is in compliance with the downtown urban renewal plan, subject to the approval of the Plan Commission. That's now been resolved, and subject to the outstanding materials regarding the street construction, utility services, and federal state agency reviews, and any other technical issues.
I'm sorry, Brian, say that last part over again. Because you kind of mumbled, I'm sorry, I didn't hear it.
Staff recommends
Okay,
for the Redevelopment Commission to make a determination that the proposed use is in compliance with the urban renewal plan, subject to, you can ignore the number 1 because the subdivision plat's been approved.
got that.
Subject to number 2, resolution of the outstanding matters regarding the street construction, utility services, federal and state agency reviews, and any other technical issues.
Okay, so moved.
Second.
All right, there's a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Tomich. Is there any further questions for Mr. Brian Poland or Mike Kelly that joined us tonight? All right, then roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Garay,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Hopridge.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. All right, number 11 is approval of ground lease at 417 Fayette Street between Hammond Redevelopment Commission and Northwest Indiana Home LLC.
So the ground lease before you is part and parcel to the development agreement and amended development agreement you saw previously with regard to the Bank Calumet property. The ground lease is for the real estate, which is commonly known as 417 Fayette, which is kind of across the street. It's depicted on the last page in the map. And what this ground lease does is it leases the property to Northwest NWI Homan LLC, and what it attempts to do is allow them to lease this property at a minimal payment for as long as their project is going on. So as long as they have the residential housing, they're able to lease it for a minimal payment. But as you are all probably aware, that piece of property at 417 Fayette, in order to make it a usable parking lot, is probably going to cost somewhere in the neighborhood of $500,000 to $1 million. So as part of this agreement and your first amended development agreement, NWI Homan LLC is paying the cost to construct that parking lot. So while you're not getting a monthly payment like you would traditionally see in a lease, you are getting the benefit of the improvement, which is about $500,000 to $1 million improvement. Also, during the term of the lease, there are safeguards for if their tenancy dips below, and I believe it was 60% of the residential units, then we have the ability to terminate the lease or take more of the parking lot for municipal public uses. Additionally, there are approximately 20 spots that are set aside for municipal uses, which would include things like the Toll Theater and things like that. So, which is part of the ground that they're improving. So they're improving this lot and making that big investment into the improvement, and because of that, the lease payment is nothing, or next to nothing. They're basically paying the lease payment in advance by doing the improvement. Because if we were going to lease it, we would have had to have done that improvement, and then, so we would have been into it for almost $1 million before we were able to lease it. So I think, and it is in keeping with the development agreement, and it's in keeping with the overall development plan for downtown Hammond. It gives us the safeguards that we need if their project were to not get off the ground or not go well or fail at some point, and it also gives us the safeguards that there's a certain amount of spots available for the public, and specifically, we were concerned about the Toll Theater and their, performances at night or whatever. So with that, I think the staff approves, or is asking you to approve the ground lease.
Thank you for pointing those safety net mechanisms that are in place during Westland.
I have no further questions or comments, but, Mr. President, I'd like to make a motion for the approval of the ground lease at 417 Fayette Street between the Hammond Redevelopment Commission and Northwest Indiana Homan LLC.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion by Commissioner Tomich, seconded by Commissioner Myricks. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Soto Presley.
Yes.
Garay.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, number 12 is approval of WJR landscaping snow removal contract for the 3 addresses listed below: 5209 Homan Avenue, 5233 Homan Avenue, and 5246 Homan Avenue.
At this time, I'd like to request the commission table this approval. The staff would like to look further into contacting WJR regarding some outstanding payments to them and some paperwork that we're missing. So if we could just table this to the next meeting while we contact them directly.
So moved.
Yeah, second.
Okay, then we got a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by Commissioner Tomich to table number 12. Let's have a roll call, please.
Talmadge.
Yes.
Soto Presley.
Yes.
Garay.
Yes.
Myricks.
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes to table. Okay, number 13 is our bills, register of claims, dating October 19, 2022 through November 17, 2022. Claim R62276 through claim R62461.
I so move for approval of the Register of Claims for October 19th, 2022 through November 17th, 2022. For Register of Claims R62276 through R62461 inclusive.
Second.
Okay, we got a motion by Commissioner Soto Presley, second by Commissioner Myrick. Is there any additional questions on these claims for staff? Okay, then roll call, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Soto Presley,
Yes.
Gray,
Yes.
Myrick,
Yes.
Upridge.
Yes, motion passes, 5 yes. Okay, number 14 is our reports. We've got Ms. Ann Anderson tonight. Would you like to share anything?
I would. I'd like to share 2 holiday events that are happening in our city in the next few weeks. This Friday, out in front of City Hall, we will have a holiday tree lighting ceremony. It starts at 5 p.m., and I believe there will be live reindeer. And then after that, the next Saturday, December 3rd, we have our holiday parade. It starts at 10 a.m. also, 10 a.m., and it will begin at Gavitt High School and will go south on Indianapolis to the Hammond Sportsplex. So always wonderful events to have in the city. Thank you.
All right, thank you for the reminders. All right, then that brings us to number 15, new and unfinished business.
Mr. President,
Mr.
That
Poland.
sounds ominous.
I have some things to hand out.
Sure. Please come forward.
Handed out all my copies, and I didn't have one for myself. So at a recent redevelopment commission meeting,
Can you let the other commissioners know what you passed out, though, too?
well,
I don't know if they got this, right?
no, they didn't. So we can send it to them?
Okay.
Okay. So at a recent redevelopment commission meeting, it was presented to the commission that there was an email expressing interest in property at 553 Lewis Street, and you deferred that to staff, and so this is the follow-up from that standpoint.
I remember it.
Okay, so in your packet, there's the cover letter, there's some attachments, and it also a map aerial showing you where the property is. Here's a small triangular piece of property adjacent to 551 Lewis Street, which is a single-family house. The property's assessed value is $600. Because of that, we did a staff member appraisal. That appraisal came back at a value of 0 based on some comparables that we had in our records from previous appraisals. And we would like to go forward with selling the property to the adjacent property owner. Mr. Westland has identified some of the statutory requirements when we have a property of low value going to an adjacent property owner.
Okay, so the fair market value is 0, so we're gonna sell it to them for $1?
What was his offer?
I'm sorry?
What was the offer?
They didn't offer, they just expressed interest in the property.
So I would suggest that you authorize the sale for the cost of transfer. We shouldn't go in the hole, right? So you authorize Mr. Poland to proceed with the sale for the cost of transfer so that it's a net 0 to us.
Okay. I'm good with that.
Yeah.
You wanna make the motion? Just say so moved.
So moved.
Second.
Okay, sounds good. I remember the property, so
Yeah.
it's
I do too.
glad to see the guy that lives next door to get it, so.
Yeah.
Hopefully he does everything what agrees with Mr. Weston's saying. I'm sure he will. All right, then we got a motion by Commissioner Myrick, seconded by, or was it by,
It's the other way around.
a motion by Commissioner Tomage and seconded by Commissioner Myrick. Let's have a roll call then, please.
Talmadge,
Yes.
Little Presley,
Yes.
Beret,
Yes.
Myrick's,
Yes.
Hubbard.
Yes, motion passes 5 yes. Any other new and finished business? That's it.
None at this time.
Okay. All right, then, number 16 is public comment. Public comment is open. Public comment is open. You have come forward and speak for 3 minutes. You choose to do so. Okay, then, public comment is closed. Public comment is closed. Can we get number 17?
Mr. President, I make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. Can you all signify by aye?
Aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. Meeting is adjourned.
Thank you.